Hi, and welcome to this video. Now I'd like to talk about system modes. System modes, one use of that would be in the event that you have a customer that maybe travels quite a lot. Maybe he's on vacations or he's away on business trips and things like that, but he would like still that the house looks inhabited. So one way to use the system modes is to do this for the customer. Let me show you how to do this. So you'll find the system modes in the setup tab of the gateway and press the system modes. You'll have the possibility here to name them yourself. So I'll add two modes for this example. I'll add a home mode and then I'll add the next mode, which I'll call vacation. And I'll press add. So what I'll do here on the macros is that first I will add under the zones, I'll add another zone for the house. So I'll call that the house mode. We'll need that later when we have to get the customer to change mode easily by himself. He can do that under the house mode setting of the gateway. So that will be both on his app, his TV screen, that he can change the house mode. It could also be from a button when he leaves the house, a keypad by the door, he can change the house mode, but it can be triggered by anywhere. But I'll add another zone, which is the house mode. Next, I'll go to macros. So for the house mode, I will program a new macro. And let's say that I want at 8 o'clock at night, I would like the TV to switch on in the living room, as well as turn on some lights for a couple of hours. So I'll say evening 8 p.m. I'll add a timer that is in my system tab, the clock. Any day, any month, every day of the week while it is in this mode at 8 o'clock. That is my trigger, but also here now it's appearing that this macro, I have put a tag on it which mode it runs in. So if I press here, I can just select that this macro will only run when it's in vacation mode. So now it is tagged with the vacation mode. If I just want this to run again in all modes, I can just delete it again and it will run in any mode. But now this is a timer that should run when it's in vacation mode, so I'll add that as my mode. So whenever it's in vacation mode, the clock is 8 o'clock, I can switch on in my living room my AV renderer to a source selection. I will select it's a local source, so I'll choose false. So it will be my TV tuner. Next thing, I want to do something with the lights as well. I will choose another resource, my spotlights. I will set it to 65%. And then again, a few hours I want the TV and the lights to switch off again, so it looks like the customer is going to bed. So I'll make another one. Instead of doing it all over again, I can also just choose to press clone when I'm selected the previous macro. And I'll call it evening 10 p.m. I'll just edit it again. Instead of 8 o'clock, it will be 10. Apply. Instead of selecting TV, I want my TV to switch to standby. So that is Beo remote 1 command, standby, apply, and my lights should switch off, 0. So now you can see that there's a little tag on these macros where it says events only works in some modes. So at 8 o'clock at night, while in vacation mode, you can see the little tag. It switches on my TV, it sets the lights to 65%. At 10 o'clock, while in vacation mode, it will switch the TV to standby and set the lights to 0. So then we have to add as well, so that the customer can change modes. So by doing that, we'll use some virtual buttons, and that we have to add under the Resources tab. Then we'll select that in the house mode room, we will have a home button. We'll put one with LED, so it's indicated to the customer which mode is selected, and then I'll show you how to make the macros afterwards, how to indicate this to the customer. We'll give it an address, add, and then we'll do a similar one, vacation. Give it another address. Go back to macros to program the macros to actually change the mode. I'll add a new macro. So I'll call vacation mode. Select. What should be the trigger of changing to vacation mode? It should be the button on my virtual button on my app or on my TV screen. So add an event. From the house mode room, I have my vacation button. Press. What should it do? It should change the gateway to vacation mode. So that I do under here. I choose System, the BeoLink Gateway, set mode to the same name that I have chosen over in the system modes, vacation. Again, I'll make another macro to select the home mode, so I can just press clone, and I'll rename it to home mode select. I will press what is the trigger. The trigger will be my home button. Press. And what should it do? It should change the BeoLink Gateway to home mode. Apply. So now I have done that. When I press the buttons, it actually changes the mode, but I would like it as well to indicate to the customer which mode has been selected. So I'll make a new macro here that is the feedback vacation mode. So what should be, we have this LED on our virtual buttons that we would like to update. So the trigger for changing the LED status should be when the BeoLink Gateway mode changes. So that again is under the system. It's in the BeoLink Gateway. It is when the mode is set to vacation. So now this is my trigger. When it goes in vacation mode, I want to update the LED on my vacation button and as well the home button. So one should switch on, one should switch off. First we will set, this is the resources, it is in my house mode, it is my home button. So I want to set the state to 0. So when I switch to home mode, to vacation mode, then my home button should switch off and my vacation button should switch on. So here I set the state of my home button to 0, and I will set the state of my vacation button to 1. So when the gateway changes to vacation mode, set my home button LED off and my vacation button LED on. And just the opposite when we change to the home mode. I will just clone this macro, change the name, so when it changes, it's not vacation mode anymore, it's home mode. So we'll rename it here, home. So I want, in this case, my vacation button LED to go off, and my home button LED to go on. So these are the 4 macros needed in order to indicate to the customer which mode it is in. And we can just test it out straight away. If I'll open a new tab here, go to the Gateway's web panel that is built in. Instead of going in the setup mode, which we have just been, we'll select the web panel. And we can see here that in the house mode, we'll have home and vacation. So when I check vacation, you'll see that the LED changes. When I check home, it moves again. So the programming we have done is accurate. This is one use of system mode, but it's not only limited to using it as vacation mode. It could be any mode. It could be like, for example, you put your house in a weekend mode, and then some keypad buttons has one function during the weekdays, but it has another one in the weekend. So it is only up to the imagination what you can use these system modes for. But one good use is the vacation mode, that we have had many requests if we could do something on that. And then this is a pretty easy way of making some things happen in the house while no one is home. So that is one use of the system modes. You can use it for many things, but this is certainly one of the use cases that it makes very much sense. Try it yourself, I think you'll like it.